missed that. We are now live streaming, but we did one of our members um left. I'm not sure if they got kicked out or their signal went or what, but just want to let you know. Hopefully they're going to rejoin momentarily.
Hi, we will contact that member, so if you'll just give us just a couple of minutes to double check and make sure
Here they are. They're back. They're coming back in now.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, great. Just keep me up to date if we need to pause.
Okay, currently they are connecting to audio, so I think we're good to go.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for the District Library Book Objection Committee meeting. The purpose of today's meeting is to review an objection to the book titled Normal People by Sally Rooney. I'm Dawn Sapp, Associate Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. Our superintendent, Mr. Forson, has designated me as chair of the committee, and I'll be facilitating today's meeting. School-based and district staff, as well as parent and community volunteers, are invited to participate on each committee. Today's meeting will result in a recommendation that will be forwarded to our superintendent. This committee meeting is public record and therefore subject to sunshine law. It is being live streamed for public viewing. Committee members are not required to have their camera on during the meeting. We are committed to civility and decorum. Please assist us in maintaining a constructive meeting environment by remaining respectful of each participant during the meeting and afterwards. Additional discussion of the objecting party or committee members outside the meeting is discouraged. Disparaging comments are contrary to district expectations regarding character and civility. Committee members received several resources in advance of the meeting. The resources included the objecting party's request for reconsideration, a copy of the book, Florida statutes, Florida Department of Education guidance for library media services, professional source reviews, St. Johns County School Board rules, the Library Bill of Rights, and a copy of the school library media material evaluation checklist. The process for today is as follows. First, the objecting party will have the opportunity to address the committee. They will provide any information they deem compelling or new regarding their request. Next, the committee will have a discussion utilizing the school library media material evaluation checklist. Finally, the decision by a majority vote will determine a recommendation for Superintendent Forson. There are two options: retain the book for a designated level or remove the book from St. Johns County School District libraries. For our meeting today, both agreeable and opposing viewpoints are welcome. Are there any questions before we continue? Okay, Jean Moore is the objecting party for Normal People. Ms. Moore, this is your time to address the committee. You have up to 5 minutes to share your objection.
Good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity for me to share my thoughts. My objections to this book are that it contains sexual activities, including sadomasochism, profanity, and alcohol use. If this were a movie, it would be rated R, which is not for minors. I personally found this to be a horrible read. Two love-lust perpetual teenagers who have sex constantly, and the story was just repetitive that way. They have sex, a few months go by, they get drunk and have sex again. 6 weeks go by, they get drunk and have sex again. 5 months go by, etc., etc. There is literally no sense of connection between the booze and sex-obsessed main characters who are only in the pattern of having sex again when the other is in another relationship. This is not appropriate for a school library. Parents have almost no visibility or the ability to monitor to protect their child from what lies in the media center. The Follett system does not provide enough information for parents to compile lists to opt out. The opt-out list does not stop a child from pulling a book from the shelf without checking it out. It's an ineffective way for parents to try to protect their child from graphic sex, violence, rape, pedophilia, profanity, etc., etc. Parents alone determine if they want their child to have access to adult materials, not the child, and certainly not the school district. To solely focus on the obscenity laws related to sexual content is a flawed methodology. Although books are not rated like movies are, it would make sense for a committee to use the same sort of logic when determining appropriate content for students. Our movies contain strong and graphic violent content. disturbing content, sexual content, graphic nudity, drug use, and strong language. An R-rated movie is not appropriate for school, so why would the same content be okay for school? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Committee members, we will refer to the school library media material evaluation form for our discussion. As a reminder, Florida statute states that any materials used in a classroom, made available in a school or classroom library, or included on a reading list must be objected to for 4 specific reasons. The first reason, the material is pornographic or prohibited under Section 847.012 of Florida statute. In the case that the majority of the committee finds that the material is pornographic, our recommendation has to be that the material must be removed from all libraries. For the remaining 3 reasons, the committee will determine if there is an appropriate grade level or if the material should be removed completely. Those 3 reasons are: the material depicts or describes sexual conduct as defined in 847.001(19) of Florida statute. The material is not suited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material, or the material is inappropriate for the grade level and age group for which the material is used. Keep in mind that our final task on the form will be to make a recommendation to Superintendent Forson. And there are 2 options: retain the book for a designated level or remove the book from St. Johns County School District libraries. Again, statute is clear that we must recommend to remove the title if the majority of the committee determines a violation of question 4 on the checklist. The floor will be open to discussion, and each committee member will have the opportunity to share. Comments will be summarized to provide an overall committee response for each question. Please remember to raise your hand to provide a comment. We look forward to hearing both agreeable and opposing viewpoints, and I believe we are ready to begin. We will now go through the checklist together. I will read each question. I will ask if there are any comments. If you have a comment, please raise your hand. After we've completed any comments, we'll call for a vote. Okay, let's begin. For question number 1 on the media material evaluation checklist, it states the objecting party's challenge of the material cites that. We will complete this with the information that was provided by Ms. Moore on her objection form. We noted that she cited that she believes there are 3 reasons for this objection, so we'll include all of those, and she had an attachment, so that would be included as well. So we'll move on to question number 2. For question number 2, questions 2 and 3 are just a way of verifying from Mr. Forson that the committee was able to review the objection. So for question number 2, if you reviewed the specific pages that were cited by the objecting party, you'll vote yes. We'll go ahead and vote at this time. Specific pages in the materials cited by the objecting party were reviewed. So yes, if you had a chance to review, and no, if you did not.
Ms. Sapp, that was 8 yes votes.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, 7 yes votes.
Thank you. You may now clear your votes for question number 2. We'll move on to question number 3. Professional and/or crowdsourced reviews were considered. So if you did have a chance to review those professional and/or crowdsourced reviews, please indicate by voting yes. If you did not, please indicate by voting no.
Ms. Sapp, for question 3, we had 7 yes votes. You may now remove your vote.
Thank you. Okay, as we move on to question 4, just as a reminder, I will read the question. We'll pause for a moment to see if there are any hands raised to provide comments. And then when we finish with any comments, we'll call for a vote. Question number 4. Is the material pornographic or prohibited under Florida Statute 847.012? Are there any comments? don't see any hands, so we'll go ahead and call for a vote. Is the material pornographic or prohibited under Florida Statute 847.012?
Ms. Sapp, for question number 4, we have 7 no votes. You may now remove your vote.
Question number 5. Does the material depict or describe sexual conduct defined in Florida Statute 847.001(19)? Are there any comments? I don't see any hands, so we will go ahead and call for a vote. Does the material depict or describe sexual conduct defined in Florida Statute 847.001(19)?
Ms. Sapp, for question number 5, we have 2 yes votes and 5 no votes. You may now remove your vote.
Question number 6. Is the material unsuited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material presented? Are there any comments? Okay, seeing no hands, we'll go ahead and call for a vote. Is the material unsuited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material presented?
Ms. Sapp, for question 6, we have 7 no votes. You may now remove your vote.
For question number 7, first I'd like to call on Mrs. Zakowski. Could you please let us know where is this material currently available?
Yes, this material is currently available in grades 9 through 12 at one of our high schools in the library collection.
Thank you. So for question number 7, just keeping in mind that it's currently available for grades 9 through 12, is the material inappropriate for the grade level and age group for which the material is used? Are there any comments? Okay, I don't see any hands up, so we'll go ahead and vote. Is the material inappropriate for the grade level and age group for which the material is used?
Ms. Sapp, for question number 7, we have 7 no votes. You may now remove your vote.
Thank you. At this time, we'll vote on our recommendation to the superintendent. The book is currently available in grades 9 and up, so we will start there. So if you agree that the material should be available for grades 9 and up, you'll vote yes. If you have a preference that it should be something different than grades 9 and up, then you'll vote no. So let's vote. The material is appropriate for grades 9 and up.
Ms. Sapp, for the recommendation of grades 9 and up, we have 7 yes votes. You may
Thank
now
you.
remove your vote. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. We have consensus that our recommendation to the superintendent is that the material is appropriate for grades 9 and up. So now I have a few closing comments for the committee. Thank you to all of you for your participation today. There are 2 final action steps to conclude our work. You know what? I'm going to pause for a second here because I realized I didn't allow, we always allow time at the end of our voting. Is there anyone who wants to make a comment be included in the recommendation to Mr. Forson? If you would like to make any comment to be included, this is your chance to raise your hand. Okay, this group has been quiet, so maybe I wasn't off base with my assumption. Okay, thank you to all of our committee members for your participation today. There are 2 final action steps to conclude our work. The first one, your acknowledgement as a participant on the committee is needed on the recommendation to Mr. Forson. The recommendation, which will include notes from today's discussion, will be emailed to you. You may acknowledge participation by responding with an email, or you may review and sign the documents in person at our Media Services office at 10 Hildreth in St. Augustine. Second thing we need committee members to do is to return your book and any notes from your work in preparation for today's meeting to the location where you picked up your book. We ask that everyone please complete both of these by the end of the week. That would help us out a lot. And at this time, are there any questions before we close the meeting? Okay, this concludes the meeting. Thank you.